Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Snakes on the Plains. Today we have something super different for you guys. This in here is actually not one, not two, but 10 baby ball pythons from Africa. So these guys aren't wild caught, they actually were captive hatched, meaning that their parents were picked out from the wild and bred in captivity. The eggs hatched in captivity and then they were sent to America. This is supposed to be an unsorted ball python bag, so that means that basically these animals were captured, or not captured, these animals were taken from their clutches, and the normal looking ones that were sorted in Africa were put into bags and then brought to the United States, where they were not sorted and just sent directly to us unopened. So the Africans in their little breeding area will actually sort out the ones that they think look special or different and keep those for themselves to try to prove them out, but otherwise these ones should all look pretty normal. The reason we're doing this is because these animals right here will have a lot more genetic diversity and possibly have some new genes. More than likely, it'll just really help us buff up our collection some. I've even heard stories of animals being bred with African imports. The babies are stronger, they eat better, they breed better, just sort of have better instincts altogether. So we're pretty excited about this.
Yeah, and hopefully we could find something new in the process.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Or even something that has existed, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Couple things first. A lot of people kind of crap on this, getting African imports, because they think, one, they're just disease riddled, which really isn't the case. I kind of saw maybe like a 1 in 10 when I was doing research of people having external parasites, meaning like mites and ticks. Really not that hard to get rid of either way. Some internal parasites, so we probably will do some sort of like smears to make sure they don't have those, but really nothing too terrible in the end game. It's just like, if you have the know-how, if you feel like you have the knowledge to identify these things, you should do it. If not, maybe you should wait a while and research that first. I really don't see why people crap all over it just because that they think that they're just going to be disease riddled. I mean, you should be quarantining no matter what.
Yeah. Well, back in the 90s, the process didn't used to be as safe as it is now. They use indoor facilities to hatch a lot of the eggs with actual incubators versus doing it outside like they used to. But a lot of the bad reputation has stuck with the process through time. So
Exactly. And I think probably the most ridiculous thing that I've heard people getting really angry about is that others are spending their money to buy basically a bag full of normal ball pythons. What they're not realizing is these normals have more genetic worth to them than probably the whole city has. Just one of these babies has more genetic diversity than the whole entire ball pythons in this city. So it really is sort of a none of their business thing, honestly. I mean, if we want to spend our money that way, we should be able to however we want. And we're not saying this to not get crapped on, it's just so you guys know, if you do this in the future, people will talk down on you for it. But I mean, when it comes to it, it's your guys' money. So normally how this works is that obviously we purchase this from Outback. Outback purchases a crap ton of bags of 10 baby ball pythons. Among other African imports, they are sent directly to them after a couple weeks. So the ball python specifically, usually about a week or so after they hatch, they're sent to Outback Reptiles, and then after Outback gets them and sends them to you, it's usually been about 2 weeks. You can tell this because usually they begin to shed, and that almost always happens around 2 weeks, and then right after that they can eat. However, this time things got a little bit crazy. The whole entire African importation that he was getting, from everything from Nile crocodiles, Nile monitors, chameleons,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, not just snakes, were kept for a whole week in an airport in London. And thankfully the airport had like the knowledge to take them out and give them water. I think they might have even fed some of the lizards and just sort of take care of them. However, the bag obviously was opened in London so that the babies could drink. So Mike from Outback Reptiles let us know that. He said, "Hey, are you guys still okay?" And we're like, "Yes, we're totally okay." And we kind of chuckled because it seemed like he kind of wanted to keep them, since most of the animals are actually hydrated and more healthy than they normally are. He would have been totally okay with keeping them. So these guys might actually be closer to 3 weeks old. So instead of giving them a couple days to settle in, we're probably just going to get them food like right away. Just so that they can get back onto it. But
yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
All right, so enough of me talking. 'Talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to opening it. All right, so you. And so what we're going to be doing with these guys is putting them into some lukewarm water for about 20 minutes so that they can get hydrated. We will then run them through some oil so we can see if individually if they have any mites or external parasites. And then directly after that, we will put them into some lukewarm water soap mixture, which will kill any mites that, or eggs and mites that they have on them, and then rinse them off and sex them and put them into their individual bags. And I guess while we're opening this, I should say we have Melinda from Aquatic Oaks here. We've talked about them before and how they have incredible rack systems and also amazing animals, so please go and check out their link in the description below. They do customizable stuff. It's just amazing and beautiful, so please give them a look. To here, and we'll get a closer look at them when they've had some water, so you can. Oh, little dude floating away. Oh, look at him start drinking just like that. Poor dude, or gal, I guess I should say.
We'll have to sex them here in a second to see what they all are.
And you can just set them right in there, all tangled up. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I just want to get kind of a look at them here.
All right, one wasn't
How's the
moving.
camera angle there?
Camera is a little bit off to the side. Sorry guys, just making sure they're all doing okay.
It's one shed.
One shed, awesome.
This one's in shed here. This one's super tiny.
Oh geez, puny little dude there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. Thank you. This guy needs to lift his head out a little bit, I feel like. There you go, mister. Yeah, there's your little tongue flicking. Oh wow. Oh wow. Dang. Okay, so that one's in shed, but I like that one.
We'll have to see what that looks like after it sheds.
I like that one too. Dang it, I like all of them. And this is one of those things where, you know, you're searching for like a needle in a haystack basically, and you don't want to think every piece of hay is the needle. You know what I mean? You want to just kind of assume that they're all normals and not assume that you have something different. But so we're gonna let these guys soak for a minute and we will be right back. All right, we're back. So the babies have had 20 minutes now. They've all drank. Some of them gone to the restroom. They're all looking good. I think one of them might have a little bit of a messed up mouth, but we'll look at each one of them in detail here in a second. What we're gonna do now is use this paper towel. It has some oil on it. As you can see, that oil will just wipe off any external parasites if they're on the body or any place that it touches, just so we can get an idea of if we're working with mites or not. Either way, we're gonna treat them like they do have mites, but it just is kind of a good idea to get the extent of it. So far, everything's looking good, so we're just gonna start moving them one by one over to this tote right here. This one has some Dawn soap in it with lukewarm water. So here we go. Thank you. Alright, and that is 10. So we're cleaning out the other tub that we use just in case there are mites in it or mite eggs so they don't get transferred back on. We'll give these guys like 2 to 5 minutes of soaking in here just to kill any eggs and mites that are directly on them that we can get to, or that the water can get to. Soak them again in just a little bit of water and then get them into their individual tubs. If they haven't shed, like a couple of these guys haven't shed, then they will go into one tub altogether. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. We're going to be getting Melinda, who is amazing, to be sexing these, and we'll just talk about each one. Again, we're not going to read too much into them until we see them all shed out. Like this one here, I don't believe has shed yet. No, definitely not, but you can already see has some beautiful oranges on the side. It also has some really neat looking sort of granity pattern to it, but again, don't want to hopefully guess too much or hope too much, because that usually just turns out in disappointment, but you know, it's kind of fun. So we'll now see if this one is a boy or girl, because she's amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. Don't spray me.
It's a boy!
Boy!
Woo! Alright, and so that granite, guys, is going to go right into this one. Now why is this one wet and everything is just because they haven't had their very first shed yet, so I'm just going to put the lid on that for them. They haven't shed yet. And then Garrett, could you grab me that paper and pen right there? Thank you, everything. Yeah, that's great. And so, this is the one I think we're all most excited about, maybe, at least I definitely am. You can already see the color underneath of the shed, even though it's in deep shed. It's, what would you say, pretty orange, kind of yellow.
Yeah.
Almost. And if you notice how the pattern doesn't have any dots and the alien head's really towards the back, it's really broken in places. Definitely something different going on there, pretty cool. Almost black back, just a couple spots where there are holes in the dorsal stripe. So, really neat looking snake.
Girl.
It's a female, hallelujah. So again, that one hasn't shed, so it's going in the shed box. This one looks like a funky normal, has some little blushing or flames on the side, nice black back on that, some interesting looking spots on the dorsal right there, and just a really nice looking animal, pretty granity looking, just like the other ones actually, kind of grainy. Got anything to add, Garrett?
Nope.
It has a really cool, not sure if you guys can see on the bottom of the tail right here, like this little stripe that goes along there. It's pretty neat right there. So.
Probably didn't have to do anything, boy.
It's a big boy. You know, they're hard to get open. They smell, they feel well.
Yeah.
I think this one.
No, that one's not in the shed.
This one.
Yeah, the one that you thought had something wrong with its tail, but it's just a shed coming off already, so that's exciting. It's just coming out of blue. So this one, even though it is in shed, you can just see how orange that snake is. It's super orange, super cool looking. The pattern is almost like keyholes, which are these dots right here without the two alien eyes, you could say. More hourglass sort of looking, ball looking patterns, and just something sort of different going on there. Hopefully we can prove out whatever that is. Might be nothing, might be something. Neat belly there. So I think we're gonna get to sexing that one. Da, da, da.
Boy!
Boy! So 1 out of 4 so far is a female.
Can you set this one over here?
Yeah, actually I can just put it
You
on
think
this
this
chair
one's
right here.
No.
I think
There was only 4 of them that I
There were.
thought were, yeah.
And then we're just gonna spray these tubs down with Nix, which is a mite killer case, so we get some of that on them for a couple weeks.
Alrighty. Let's get into the ones that have shed now.
And filling up waters. That's
Yeah.
The noises. Sorry. And in the background, you can hear our roommate doing his vocal exercises. So apologize for that. See this one? I don't know. What do you guys think? Pretty normal looking.
Yeah.
This is like kind of what an average
Yeah.
normal look like, which is cool that that's the first time we're saying that. for this bag opening. Again, kind of grainy pattern going on, nice high whites. There's quite a bit of blushing, and there's actually like some whites all the way up on the side, which is really neat. Something a little different than what you see in like the average Joe normal, but still a pretty normal looking guy or gal going on there. So what I'm going to be doing now for these ones that have shed, I will be giving them sort of a code name. So these guys all will need names soon.
Boy.
Alright, so this will be African import male 1. Thank you very much.
So this one here is the tiniest that we have out of the bag. It has an interesting pattern. Unfortunately, and we'll have to see what happens with it, its jaw is a little messed up. So if we can eat, that's good. We'll just kind of have to see what happens with it in the long run. Mackenzie, do you have any thoughts on the pattern or anything like that?
This is really sort of jungly looking. I do like it a lot. I really hope this gal approves or lives out, and that's beautiful right there. Really pretty. Or gal or guy. I don't know why I said gal, but the dorsal pattern kind of reminds me of the hurricane, honestly.
It's got that stripe down the belly too.
Oh, beautiful. That's really cool. For those of you who don't know, the stripes can sometimes be markers. Most people think het hide, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee.
Nope. Come on, baby. It's female.
Sweet. And this is an import female 1. So again, all these will need code names pretty soon. Check out our Facebook page to see when those name suggestions and then name quizzes will be, not quizzes, polls will be going on.
So then here we have the next one. Mackenzie, do you have
Oh, sorry, I'm busy over here writing.
thoughts on this?
Let me just take a look. It is a little bit different colored, isn't it?
Yeah, just a tad. It's a little bit lighter, kind of a tan color almost.
Yeah, like an olive color
Yeah.
with some orange on the side. Definitely a little strange in color-wise. Otherwise, again, sort of a normally looking one. Some nice blushing on the side, some flames, and then that back pattern, that dorsal pattern again. Very interesting there. So
Yeah.
hopefully something there. Yeah.
That's a boy.
Oh man, that's a big boy.
Man, you really cuffed him. Cuff that one out quick, huh, bud?
Alright, so the second male out of the ones that haven't shed.
Next one that we have here, as you can see.
That's beautiful. That is a very dark snake on the top. I'm not sure if you guys can quite see the different colors, like the contrast there. It's super dark at the top, and then when you go down towards the bottom here, it gets like yellow, orangish. Beautiful contrast on that animal. Hopefully something going on there, because check out that black back. That is beautiful as well. Got a couple breaks in it, which is nice, and then a super granity, super broken up, just kind of shattered pattern. Beautiful.
Boy.
Awesome. And that's the third male that has shed.
Take this cold.
The next one that we have here has some interesting stuff kind of going on the back. To kind of see what happens with it there.
Definitely has a funkier pattern, that's for sure. The whites that come up as high as they do is something different as well, and especially this portion of the pattern to me sticks out because it's like, well, it's alienated. The alien heads are alienated. They're not attached to the belly. There's something really neat going on there. The back has some nice sort of segmented pattern, kind of reminds me of what you would kind of expect in a mahogany, but of course it's not that at all.
Give us some more girls.
Yeah, I need some more girls.
We got a girl.
We got a female.
See?
Awesome. So that's the second one that is not checked. I believe that's the third one total. Oh, and it's a runner.
Alright, and this is the shyest of our ball pythons out of the bag, and probably my favorite just due to its coloration. If you can see here, it's super orange, bronze color almost. Almost like Enchi, but there's some differences.
Oh yeah, the pattern is much thicker than I would imagine an Enchi being, but the exciting parts of course, if you check out the dorsal at the top, you got a couple spots, then it just turns into basically just kind of a shattered back pattern. The coloring is super nice, especially down towards the tail, and then the just not traditional pattern at all, with the alien heads not having many spots at all, and the belly is pretty clean if I'm looking at it right. Yeah, that's a nice clean belly, and that's one of my favorite things to see in an animal. So super awesome. See what this one is.
It's pretty big too. It's one of the bigger ones out of the bag.
That's awesome.
Female.
Heck yeah! All right. So let's just get a count here then. Now 3, so I believe that's 4 females then, and that would leave 6 males. So really not too bad. We almost hit 5 and 5 there. That would have been pretty cool. So basically what we're gonna do now is put all these guys in our rack system, so they won't have this lid at all. They'll just be in there. We'll keep them nice and hydrated, moist, and keep treating them as if they had mites, just in case, for the continuation of several weeks, possibly, most likely months. Possibly get fecal samples done on all of them, just in case they have some sort of intestinal parasites
of any kind,
but
yeah.
We won't know that until we see them actually poop for the first time. And other than that, they seem pretty healthy, except for that one that has that sort of genetic issue that wasn't anything that Outback could have done. But I think we're pretty excited with how it went. What about you?
Yeah, no, it's been a super cool experience, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens at the end of everything.
Keep your eye out. If you want one of these guys, let us know. Can't guarantee which ones are going to be up for grabs yet, as we haven't seen all of them shed, eat, all that fun stuff, and they definitely won't be up for sale for at least 3 months, but we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And thank you to Melinda.
You're welcome.
Again, go check out in the description below Aquatic Oaks. Fantastic people, fantastic.
Awesome racks.
Yes, awesome. Great racks, yes. So,
Everybody likes my racks.
exactly right. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. There should be, again, photos coming up of all of these animals and of getting their code names, which is how we keep track. I feel like it's a little bit more personable to them, and we'll figure out what their personalities are and let you guys know. Down in our description below is all of our information: Facebook, Instagram, and website, which has all of our pairings, exciting stuff. Check out the Hurricane if you haven't heard of that morph before. Super exciting up and coming morph. So thank you guys again. We'll see you in the next video.